Luca is directed by Enrico Casarosa and tells the story of Luca, the titular character played by Jacob Tremblay, who discovers a few items in the bottom of the sea while he is shepherding the fish. And he gets more curious as time went on. And when he asks questions to his parents, they get into a heated argument. And when his parents want to send him away to keep him safe and not have him go up to the land of people, he runs off. And that's when he meets Alberto. Well, he meets him later on, actually, but the two of them then form a friendship with each other, and Alberto is played by Jack Dylan Grazer, who, if you remember him from Shazam and the It films. And they both dream of getting a Vespa and driving off everywhere across country, and they have to win a race to get one, or at least to get enough money to get a Vespa. And so they find a girl named Julieta, and they all form a friendship and team up to go into the race. So there is not much I could say about Luca, to be honest. And for the most part, I did enjoy the movie, but it's not one of Pixar's deepest films. To be honest, I actually expected a lot more from Luca than what initially is. And it's just a movie about a group of friends trying to work together and trying to hide their identity while also trying to fit in with other people. And when they eventually get found out, they have to overcome some of the challenges that came with coming up to the surface world, and there is a bit of rivalry between each other and between a group of bullies that are a bit too old to be in the race in which they're up against. There isn't really much to spoil. Some of the trailers and plot points that are shown in the trailers and promotional images and plot lines from articles is basically that. It's a very, very simple movie. There's not much to spoil or hide. And the ending is heartwarming. I won't spoil that part in case you want to go into the movie blind. But whatever I just said, you probably all heard it before. It is a very simple movie. And in my opinion, it kind of worked for this movie. I just had a good time watching it. I enjoyed the character interactions. I understood how they function in the story. I understood what the story was supposed to be about. The message is pretty good for children. It's just not going to be one of those Pixar movies that's going to leave you extremely emotional. The ending is a great ending. I thought it ended beautifully, and you could really get a sense of where the journey ends and how much of an impact it had on the characters. Pixar is still able to pump out great endings, even if the rest of the movie isn't as good as that ending. And not saying that the rest of the movie is bad. I really enjoyed it. And again, I have to say to Pixar, the animation is stellar. This is not hyper-realistic animation though, like we've seen with Coco or Toy Story 4. This is much more simpler animation. They dial back some of the textures, and mostly focused on the shapes and colors and the style of Italy and the character designs. It's not like hyper-realistic. And I actually really like that aspect of the film. I miss when movies can have just unique character designs, but not have to mix in so much texture and hyperrealism to the point where it actually kind of looks ugly. It's kind of my problem with Incredibles 2, and I think Pixar learned from their mistakes in that movie in terms of animation. Not that it's bad animation, but it was a bit too much. And here they dialed it back perfectly, a good amount, and so you're able to still feel invested in the story. It is good animation. I'm really impressed on how Pixar was able to handle it. So, in terms of technicality, as I said, the animation is great. The music is also really good. I really got a good sense of the setting with the music and wherever it took place in the ocean and in the land. The music accompanying all the scenes there, including some of the more, I wouldn't say intense, but more heart-wrenching scenes. I think the music worked pretty well. Though I would say that I feel like the music at times tells you too much how to feel during a specific moment. Like sometimes I would think that silence would be more appropriate at certain moments. But still, for the most part, aside from that, the music worked overall. And I gotta say, the sound design, really good. I really love how the whole setting of Italy worked, especially during the oceans. And the sound design there almost reminded me of Finding Nemo at times. It was really good. And I think it's like a little callback. Who knows? For the most part, I don't have any big gripes with the movie. If I gotta have a gripe, I would say that the plotline with the parents looking for Luca is not as interesting. Like, it gets a little too repetitive what they do, and you just want to get back to the actual main story and the actual payoff in which they will find out as sea monsters. It's not as emotionally investing as I thought it was going to be, and I felt like with so much build up with the whole town against these monsters, they got over it pretty quickly. So that was kind of disappointing. I expected a lot more from how the town reacted to this whole setting. But for the most part, I really enjoyed Luca. It is not one of Pixar's best, but I had a good time watching it, and I'm going to give Luca a B+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.